Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Kim here, and today is our Techniques Tuesday. And I have an interesting project today. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's to take apart some old magazines. Now these magazines are from the 1960s. I think this one's 1959, yeah. And they're big and bulky. It's mostly black and white images, you know, the odd colored one. But it's just a way to show you how you can repurpose these magazines. They are available everywhere. They're so heavy, I can't even mail these out. And they're also too large to go as a document and too heavy to go as a document. So I'm forced to cut them all up, because I have no way of really selling them unless I cut all the images up and sell the images. But I figured if I'm going to go that far, I might as well just keep them and use them for myself. So what I've done is I've got these two magazines, and we're going to walk through one, and I'm going to sort of cut a little bit and then show you how I mount them on some cardstock. I picked some cardstock that I don't really like. It's this chalkboard stuff. I've already pre-cut some pieces. It's the pieces I cut up are 3 inches by 6 inches, and that's kind of a tag size to me. And then I've cut up some 4 by 6s, which I would use as a journaling card or sort of a postcard type of image. And then I have the rest of the book here. I said, oh, if I use it all, I'll cut it up. If not, it'll just go back in the stash. But I will probably do this long after the camera's shut off and continue until the magazines are gone. So that will decide how much cardstock I need. So this is going to be kind of a two-part series within Techniques Tuesday. So we'll do part 1 today, and then we'll do part 2 on the upcoming Tuesday. And any magazine will work. I mean, you can use your newer ones that, you know, your housekeeping type of magazines or your style magazines and stuff like that. Or, you know, maybe you have a couple of copies of 17 that are back up in the cupboards. I know I have one with Bobby Sherman. I showed it to you a long time ago. But, you know, you can find these magazines like National Geographic, any of that kind of stuff is fine to work with. I'm just choosing this because they're black and white and I want to get the images used up. And I chose this black cardstock because it was the first cardstock in the pile. And, you know, I'm at that point where it's like use it or lose it. So I just grabbed the first one and I said, that's what I'm using today. Even though I hesitated for a minute, I just said, nope, use it, be done. But anyway, so some of these images are going to be large, and I'm not going to just cut them up. I'm going to put them aside for next week because we're going to do some fun things with these large images as well. And yeah, so any kind of magazine will work. If you go down to any of your local antique shops, you might find some old ones there that you can play around with. I really like the old advertisements in the back, like these nice rectangulars here. I cut those out and use them and mount them on stuff. And sometimes if you can find the old cheesy National Enquirers, there is some fun content in there. I used to do a lot of traveling for one of my jobs years ago, and I would buy a National Enquirer magazine to get on the plane with, and just to distract me for a couple of hours while I was on the plane. And by the time I got to the other end, I would finished it and I would just leave it for the next person that came along. But now I'm sorry I didn't keep some of those because there was so much cheesy content, including their, you know, their section where they were looking for partners, that they would make fun ephemera in some of these journals. So if ever you guys find a couple of National Enquirer magazines, throw them in the mail to me. I'd be very happy to reimburse you for it. Because it'd be fun to read. You know, my favorites were always the two-headed babies and the, you know, the just weird stories of things that people collected or did. A lot of science fiction stuff. But anyway, so getting on to this, I'm just going to take this first page off because it is the cover. So it's a large page that I'm going to use for something else, even though there's this piece in here that could cut out very nicely for a journal. So this next page here, and this is just how I look at things. I'm just gonna take it out. Hopefully I don't have to undo these staples, but I might. I think I might have to do it. So I really like this advertisement of words here, and I like the chairs. And then this part here will just, you know, it's kind of plain, unless there's something on the other side that I could take this old print shop out. So that's how I look at things. I look at both sides first and see what I can cut out. This is kind of faded. It's really not that big of a deal. So I'm going to take out the chairs first. And I just cut it to get it out of the book. And this might be like watching paint dry, but I won't do a lot of it on camera. I'll just show you some different ideas so that you get an idea of what I'm doing with this. Now, in this case, I'm leaving this margin. And here I'm just going to cut it down the center. I could have actually left these two together as a booklet. Yeah, too bad I didn't. Wouldn't that be a cute little book? But my idea is that I'm going to take this little margin now and just fold it back. I hope you can see this good. So I can trim this a little bit better afterwards. Right now I'm just looking at what I'm going to do with it. So this could be a flip coming out of a journal. And so I would further enhance this page later on when I'm ready to use it. But I could add some lace, you know, maybe I could add some other labels and stickers and stuff on it, and then blank paper on the other side of it. And then I can flip this into my journal and use it as a flip out. So it's decorative, and it would hide some secret writing space and probably some secret writing space on a page. Actually, I'm going to grab the page really quick just so I have one handy here. To show you some different ideas. Okay, so this would have to flip the other way. So I would just glue it down to this side of the page, maybe cover this with something decorative or make something on this side as well. And then this would now open up that I can use it in a page. And it's kind of cool. Like I picture something, unusual, like a bird sitting on the chair, or, maybe a cutout of a cat or something strange that wouldn't sit on a chair. So these are fun ideas that, you take one piece and you look at it. And so I already know, because I've made this little fold in the margin, that it's going to be a flip. And so the same thing with this one. I'm going to now take this, fold it back, and you can trim it down as you need it. And, there's no point in putting a lot of effort into it until you're going to use it. But I have places where I stash all my flips and stuff like this that I want to work with. And so that's two pieces right there that are ready to go. And then I have this David Stockwell. It's a really nice advertisement. That would just be perfect ephemera to put on a page. So I'm going to trim that back. And again, I don't get too fancy with how I trim them, because, it depends on what I'm going to use it for when I actually put it in the book. So I left a little bit of a top margin here because it could end up being a flip down for something. But I don't want to fold it if I don't need it. But it's a really nice advertisement, from the 1960s. And the font is very nice, so I will stick it aside as that. So then on the other side of this page was this old print shop advertisement that I liked. Now that's just collage backings, these leftover pieces, and garbage. Yes, I do throw stuff out. I'm going to take this out now. And again, this will go into my collage pile. And I do trim out the excess because then it forces you to use it pretty much as it is, without worrying about what else is on the page. And so this could be inked up. I could glue it down to something cardstock like to frame it. So that is something I would consider as well. But for now, I'm just going to put it aside. And anything here, I'm going to keep that one little book page. These are pretty small, so I'm just going to let them go. I hope this isn't too boring. I will kind of watch the time. And then if it gets to the point where I've done too much of the same thing, I will stop the camera, finish it all, and then show you the results in part 2. Now I'm going to take the back cover off and examine that. I do like this tea set. I also like these advertisements. This furniture and glass, this European antiques, porcelain mirrors. Those could all be used as individual words, as well as this advertisement down here. So I like this side. On this side, not so much. It doesn't thrill me about the sofas, but I do like this advertisement here. And there's really not much there. I might lose part of Charles Hall Incorporated, but it's a choice between that and this one, and I seem to like this one better. So I'm going to carefully cut this out and see what we're left with. Okay, so that's pretty nice. I'll trim off the bookend there and trim this down a little bit too. And so there is my advertisement that I can use. And let's see what happened on the other side. Okay, I lost part of Charles Hall, but not completely. So I'm going to just take my scissors now and just cut along the top here. That down. I don't think there's anything on the other side here worth saving. And maybe just trim it to the end of his name. So we lost the ink on there, but I like this part of it. I could have also, sometimes you snip too fast. But I could have also left this intact and then done some ink stamping on top of it because there is this blank piece, but I like that just by itself. And that is good enough to make a label, this blank here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip the corners right now. As much as possible, you don't want to have piles of stuff that you're going to do later. This is now ready, so it's going in my pile that I've started here with the chairs, and that's all stuff that's ready to go. So now I do like this picture, and I think it would make a nice folded note card. Let's see what's on the back, just the chairs. Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do with it. I think I will trim it underneath the photo description here, and then because it's bigger than now it's got a little bit of a rip here, so I think I'll take that away as well. So it could be folded to make a little notebook cover, or a little journaling card that's just folded. At this point, it's quite large, so I'm going to put it with the front cover that I hadn't decided what to do with, and stick that aside. And go through these now. I've got these words, furniture and glass. porcelain in mirrors here. Now that I didn't cut that very straight. But this now has this big white space that I really like. So I'm going to keep that in case I want to stamp something on it. I may trim it down to just those words to put on something. And same with this European Antiques. I'm just going to cut it reasonably straight for now. Leave all this around there, knowing that I can, you know, add things on or trim it down to just the words. So you can spend a good couple of hours taking apart a magazine, just going through and looking at every individual thing. So I'm at the back of the book right now. Excuse me. So I have all of these pictures. I do like this Antique Scotland and the little blurb that's underneath it, the one comprehensive stock of quality antiques in Scotland. I do like this John Bell of Aberdeen that just, you know, again, it's advertisement that becomes sort of a faux washi tape that you can add on the bottom of a page. So this whole strip is very interesting to me as a piece. I might even keep the page number and this stuff about the magazine until I again decide what I want to do with it. And it is taking away from Wonder Paste. That could be a fun one. Slash pegs, wrought iron hardware. I'm not sure on that one. I like Wonder Paste, but I do like that. Okay, I think that one's winning. So I'm going to take that one for sure. Now, I could use my cutter to cut all these, but I don't worry about it at this point. I'm going to straighten it up as I go along anyway. And this one, again, is undecided as to whether or not I want to use it as the whole piece, or if I want to cut off above the line here, or cut it with the line in it. But it is an interesting piece that could go into a journal very easily. And it's too bad I lost Wonder Paste, but yeah, that's pretty much gone. So now these, there are 6 additional advertisements on here. I think I like them better than this. This is very soft colors, but I do like this Antiques of Scotland. Oh, another one of those, eh? It's running right across the top of those 2 ads. Yeah, I'm going to put that one underneath and think on it just a little bit more and decide which one I want to cut up. So you can see where I'm going with this. I'm trying to get to a page where I can show you some other techniques that I can do. This one has some fun advertisements here that I really, really like. And just looking at this, they will fit very nicely into this cardstock. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep these for journal cards. So nothing too intense on the back here that I'm worried about. You know, if I can keep the clearinghouse, I might. It looks like, as I can see through the page, it's running right along the top here. So I would rather keep all of these ads. Now, I'm not going to cut them all out while you're watching, because that would be like crazy, right? So I'm just going to cut out one. That'd be like watching paint dry. Or golf, as I always say. And I found out I have a couple of you that actually like watching golf. I don't get it, but sorry. As we say in Canada, sorry. So this time I'm going to trim the margin down, knowing that I'm not using this as a flip. And then going to my journal card here that I've made. This is a little bit tight. I'm going to trim a little closer on the white because I do, if I'm going to mount it on the black cardstock, then I do want to at least see it at the background. And one more time along the bottom. Okay, so that will fit a little bit better now. I think I should trim around the top too. So now it becomes a question. Let me just trim around the top. And I'm just following this design that's in here. Just fussy cutting around it a little bit. And now, once I put it on here, it becomes a question, do I want it right at the top or do I want it at the bottom? I think it depends on what I'm going to do with it. In this case, I'm going to use it as a journal card. So to me, it's the information that's at the top here that's really intense that I want people to see. So I might later on, and I just have a couple things here, I might later on add an image like that. Can you see what a difference this makes? And then something, maybe some faux washi or some washi tape or a couple of labels. Let's grab a label for you to see. So you can turn around and add a little pop of color. And what a difference this is just from adding this image. Now I would play on the words that are on here. This Mrs. C. Sheldon Laidlaw, I guess it's her auction that she's having. So having this where you can see the writing and see the words of the auction, that is just a page right there. So this is what I would glue together. I'm not going to do it on camera, but I'm just giving you some ideas of what I would do to enhance this one little image. And you can see what a difference that makes. Now, what's nice about it is gluing it to the cardstock. It's got a little bit of weight to it, so it becomes a journal card. You can write on the back. I can dress this up further on the back. I could turn it into a postcard by adding a stamp and address and information on here and playing on that as well. But I like the idea of a journal card. But this is where I'm going to leave this like this with this on here so that I can show you next week all the pieces that I made. Because, you know, I don't want to take up too much of your time doing this kind of stuff. But I'm excited about that one. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4 more advertisements. Now these are a little bit smaller, so I may put 2 on a page and cut them. Yes, I can probably fit both on the page. So I would cut them down to smaller sizes to fit on here. But you've already seen me do one, so I don't need to do that again. And I'm just going to take off this little bit, and I'm going to put this underneath and work on it off camera. And so I'm just going to flip through the book a little bit. Now here, this word 1960, May 1960 antiques. I think that's pretty interesting to look at. This picture is very clear. I don't know if it's coming through on there or not, but I would just, again, frame it with a little bit of white and maybe use half of a tag card. And then, well, let's just do it really quick, but let's see what's on the other side. Okay, we've got John S. Walton and Company. So we're going to keep that for sure. I'm going to cut this one out. Okay, just trimming that a little bit closer here. So this could sit right on this page. Yeah, I don't understand these little word things. And then I can further enhance it by adding another advertisement, or I could have another image. These were all images I cut out of a calendar, by the way. So I do a lot of these on the side. while I'm waiting for my videos to upload. And so I just happen to have them all in a pile here. I haven't put them away. So I could take this very same image now. Add that into the picture. Add a couple more things, maybe the other way around. I'm not sure. Add a couple more things like a label, trim the corners, and I've got an instant tag. So let's just grab another label. I've got one in this purple. It's a little bit long, but I'm sure I have smaller ones. Here we go. So something like that, and then just trimming the corners, and then I can further enhance it with other little goodies and trims and stuff. And you've got an instant journal card. I could separate this and have this down here. And you have an instant journal or a tag. So it's just to play around now and further enhance it with washi tape, or, trimming the corners, maybe doing some inking or stamping, anything to take away from the actual cardstock in the back. I could also trim it with a piece of lace down one side that will still show the black coming through, but give you the where you're not distracted by these lines in there. Oh, I'm going to have some fun ephemera done by the end of today. Okay, so moving on, I will, again, I don't want to waste your time cutting out this whole thing on camera. I can do it afterwards. So I will grab the words from here, grab this from here, and then the rest of this will probably turn into collage paper that I use to, as a masterboard back, and then I would play on it after that. So this next page, Encyclopedia of World Art. Let's just take a look at that one. Nothing super duper on here that I like. I like Malcolm Franklin. That's kind of cool. But these encyclopedia advertisements they're disappearing because nobody buys encyclopedias anymore. Everything's online, right? So to find this kind of art is fun, and if you just go to from the 1970s magazines or any of those that are a little bit older, you'll find all kinds of these in there. Same with things like Learn to Draw and different pills and medications that are not available anymore. So these are things to watch for in a magazine, because you cannot, nobody buys encyclopedias anymore, so that you don't see these type of advertisements. The other thing that I really love on these kind of pages is the mail this coupon. So I would probably take that piece out as a little art advertisement, and I would take out this mail this coupon and put that onto something as well. And then the font here, the Encyclopedia of World Art, it just has to go in a journal. These are just fun words. Nothing too exciting on here. If by the time I'm done and I finish cutting, I will save all the advertisements, not so much the pictures. It's not that big of a deal. So in this page, again, we've got French antiques. I would keep that as a whole ad. Definitely would keep this Alfred Bullard advertisement down here, and probably this Philippe Souval or whatever. I'm not too crazy on that picture. Not crazy on this one. These are very faded magazine pictures. Not sure I like that, but I certainly like this whole strip here that I could cut out. It says New York on here. So there's some fun things there. However, having said that, if it's not interfering with anything on the other side, I could see myself keeping the dishes because it has this Wedgwood bone china right on here. So this would make sort of a nice folded card. Where it's kind of a half fold, where you only have a little piece here and then the bigger piece on that side. It could be a nice flip out. I do like the curtains and this advertisement here, but this French Antiques wins in this in this case. So same kind of squared off or journal card size ads. Love those. This one is a little bit dark, so I'm hoping there'll be something better on the other side. No, there isn't, but there is this fluorine mane. That's going to get cut off. So my focus is going to be on these two, and then the rest of it will just go to collage papers. This is a fun one. This beautiful little girl will look so nice framed on a journal card. These here, same thing, they're advertisements. I love new house, if you can see all these words in here. So there's lots of things to cut out of here very easily. On the back side of this, nothing too fancy. I would take this little girl before I would take that image. And I will, when I cut these, I cut them very carefully because this is a beautiful business card. So if I can have that business card, I might take that instead of the words new house. I might keep the word new because that's something I can use. And then if this doesn't interfere, which it doesn't, I would be able to cut that out as a business card as well. So yeah, another nice banner. Another one down here. There's a couple. Chairs aren't that big. I don't mind this piece here. It seems nice and clean. So I could maybe cut that piece out and have it as a flip. Same with this one. Would make an interesting flip on a page if nothing else is interfering with it. Not really. Well, I kind of would prefer that over this. So it's one of those things that you have to give up something sometimes and take something else. I'm just going to go through the pages in the magazine, and if there's anything that's outstanding, I will certainly show you. I love Oriental rugs. I would cut it out as the scrolled piece that you see here. I wouldn't keep the background, I don't think. Yeah, the plate is nothing big deal there. And maybe I would keep this doll and this little business card here. So just here and there, there's little rectangular shapes that will be perfect on the journaling cards. This would be interesting, but there's so many of them that are cut off. So I don't know if I could use it as just the whole page as a background. It's something I might consider. It depends on what's on the other side. Let's see. No, I think I like those advertisements better. They're nice and clean and crisp looking. This one has a really nice border and a nice font on the name. This is nice and clear. Lots of opportunity with the chairs in there. So I probably wouldn't keep that. And, again, there's just more and more. Love that advertisement right there. More pieces that are rectangular shape. I always like to keep an eye on what's along the margin borders so that it becomes a flip. This is pretty long. I could cut it down and just have the chair. Seems like I'm pulling a lot of chairs out of this book. But that's an interesting advertisement. So is this. Fabrics from France. Love that. That is a beautiful picture, but there's a little bit of interference with this vase. So I think I would just keep French & Company down here. Unless I trim the picture out from the frame itself and just have the picture. But then... So this is how your mind works sometimes. Then it's like, well, maybe I keep this whole piece to put in a journal on a page and then put another picture in here. So that's a possibility too. It could also flip out because I could use this as the flip part. So I'm going to keep that in mind before I cut. Nothing too fancy on this side, so I think I'm going to keep that page. So you'll have to come back and see what all my cuts are. Interesting patterns in here, which would make great washi tape. The fun part about this, even though it's black and white, you can run your inks in like, pink or blue or some other color to just further enhance the white part that's on here. So that's a possibility, and if I do that, I will certainly show you in my follow-up. Love the word Oriental rugs. I have lots of rug images, so that might be something that I could add into a journal. I'm hoping you can see all that, right? Yeah, you can. That I could add into a journal with the rugs. So that might be something to consider. Regular advertisements here. And again, this is one of those contact me for whatever, whether it's a catalog or samples. And not too much interference because of what's on this side. I would keep this logo in here. That's kind of neat. So it's not always about the pictures because in this case, they're not the greatest quality. But, you know, depending on what I pull on one page, I'll take it from the other. Lincoln, not my thing, but maybe somebody I know would want Lincoln. Another advertisement on the bottom. Some great advertisements here. I'm not finding anything that's outstanding so far, but I will keep going through the magazine until I see something that might be of interest to show you what to cut out. So far, nothing. This one is a large picture. I love the blank margin around it. So this, depending on what's here, I don't think I need a naked woman. So I think I would cut this out as a page, and this will be a follow-up for next Tuesday, what I do with that. In this case here, it's a lot of words. I might keep that signature. I like that. That's kind of cool. I like the word antiques, of course. Nothing on the other side. So the rest of this would just go into collage masterboard making. Love this young man here. I think that's a great picture. And the rest is for collage. This is a great diagram of a door. Love that. I love this house with the writing on here. So that would be another image that I could use. Nothing on the other side I have to be concerned with. So again, more masterboard pieces. And I will use all these pictures in the masterboards knowing that I'm going to put other stuff on top afterwards. So when I'm working with this magazine, by the time I'm done, you will see it all by next week. Okay, so nothing spectacular here. So it could just be for collage. Yeah, mostly collage here. And more. Nice colored picture. Like the white space on either side of it. This could actually be cut into a couple of journal cards or tags if I wanted to use as a base. Now, do I like that picture or do I like this one on this side? I like this one much better. So because the pictures are, they have the same margin on both sides, and it looks like they're about the same size, I think. Yeah. So this might be a good flip out in a journal or a folded card. I'll have to play around with this one, but that I would definitely keep this one whole for next week to show you. These would make fun postcards going the other direction. Now, if this, I can show you with a piece of cardstock. This might not be the right size. Maybe. So I might have to do some trimming, but I can turn these into 2 postcards. I like that. I would just trim a little bit off the bottom and off the top to make it fit. This is a nice house, but I think I like that better. 2 more possible postcards or journaling cards. This would fit very nicely. Same with that one, would fit very nicely. Now I have to make decisions, but we can make those as I go along. Until we get through this whole magazine. Probably collage, masterboards with the exception of maybe this one, possibly this one. Yeah, we'll see from there. And these might make nice postcards as well. Kind of boring. And then we get to the back again where there's more advertisements. These are all perfect little ads to put in your journals. They would make nice tuck spots or small pockets, or you know, with the margin on the side here, I can leave the margin on each one of those and make them flips. Lots of possibilities on this page alone. So I will be doing some cutting with that. Now we run into some problems because these are all really, really nice little images, you know, and little spot things, you know, where you can get reduced prices for hardware, send 25 cents for the catalog, or for 2 handsome brass. I can't read it. So yeah, some of these I'm going to probably want to keep more so than the few cards that I'm going to lose on the other side. Yeah, there's nothing super screaming out at me on this side that says I have to cut those out first. So I think I would rather have all of these cut up and to be able to use these as little spot ephemera on my page. Same with this page. Then they have to do that. Why couldn't they leave this side blank? Or put something really ugly on there. So it's one of those things that I will have to decide and make the decision and cut them and mount them right away, so that I'm not worried about what's on the other side. So in this case, because I'm just going to cut one row out. Just so you can see what I'm doing. So I wouldn't worry about the margin here though, but I will keep that margin because it's nice to stamp on. It'll make some great faux washi if I stamp on it. And all of this will be done, like I will shut the camera off and I will work on all of this, and you will get to see it all as a follow-up, whether I do it next week, which is a good possibility, or as a separate video. But I'm thinking it'll go on to next Tuesdays. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 advertisements here. I'm going to just cut them out on the line. Now, if I'm doing a lot of these, I would get my cutter out as well. And trimming that back. And so if I go to this cardstock here, I can get, you know, 2 or 3 ads on this little piece of paper. So I can glue them down and then further enhance them with color, or I can just trim them closer, or leave a little bit of room to add some kind of lace or trim on them. You know, depending on how I'm once I've got everything cut out, how they fit on here, because I will start placing them on these boards and then making a decision afterwards. So for example, this one here, I'll cut it out better afterwards. But I know I can't get a third one in here. So I do have a lot of room. So if I split this in half and then center the picture, I have room to further enhance this with some trims or something that, you know, washi tape or something, or even make these into 2 small little flips or pockets, or even mini tags. Like I could cut the corners of here and make it into a little tag or a little journaling card. So I have lots of options by just laying them down like this and then deciding when I actually go to glue them down, what I'm going to do with them. And I always keep in mind that I want journaling cards, and I want tags, and I want tucks, pockets, mini ephemera to put in those little tiny pockets. You know, and sometimes we make the several layers of pockets that I can tuck different little things into. So they could be small journaling cards, like a T card, or they can be glued down and become a tuck spot for something on a page. But either way, I make that decision when I actually glue these down, and I commit myself right then and there that that's what they're going to be, so that I have a good stash of everything by the time I'm done. So when I'm finished and this whole book is done, and maybe the second book too, I will have a pile of different stuff for different reasons, and that's what they will be, and I will know that's what they are right away. So again, I will show you all of that in next week's class. And yes, this I will keep. I will ink stamp it before the day is up, and I will show you these as well, so that you know how I use up this entire book. And any pages where I have a large margin where I'm going to use it for, or use the images for collage, I will rescue these margins first, so that I can stamp them all at once and have a collection of different faux washi tape to use. So yes, I have a lot of ads to cut out of here. That's exciting. Those are my favorite. And then I sometimes have to flip them over to see what's on the other side first. And then there's business card size ads, which are fun. Still some more collage possibilities here. And I will even have my master board done by the time I finish cutting this out, because that's the whole idea. Use it or lose it, get it done, get it finished, and move on to something else. And all of this stuff, by the time I'm done, you would think that I bought this from some fancy place, because when we change all this around and it's ready to go, it's like, oh, I can't wait to put that in a package or in a book page. You know, something simple like this one here, you know, you can add extra things like a postage stamp, or you can ink stamp over top of here. So these are all things that I will have done for next Tuesday to show you. Lots of great pieces here. I love the word chandelier on this side here, and the chandelier. This primitive paintings, I could certainly see myself cutting those out. More chairs. There's a lot of chairs in this book. Okay, and then there's some just index type pages and dealers. I don't think this is, it's just very plain words. I do like this section here. I might keep that. If you can see that, I hope I'm in the camera all this time. But for the most part, these will just go right into collage. I'm not sure. Might keep that word. More advertising. And that's the whole book. So just a quick rundown of this book. As you can see, there wasn't much in the way of colored pages, because, you know, colored ink was expensive, and it was a 4-color process in the day. This is a nice page. We'll probably use it the way it is in a journal. So I will be showing you how I do that next week. Oh, I got another David Stockwell in here. Good. And so there's a couple of images here. These are kind of nice. They might have be a nice flip out or a nice journaling card. I will decide when I get to this book as well. So since I'm doing one, I might as well do 2. Here's another rug. Maybe I need to keep that for that Oriental Rugs page. But I have some Oriental Rugs pictures somewhere that are in color, so I might wait and see what happens there. Christie's of London. Fabulous advertisement right there. Here's Christie's, Manson and Woods Limited. Shop talk. That's a great word to cut out. English furniture. I don't know if I'd use that, but Ginsberg and Levy. So there's another one there. So I can go back to the other book and decide to pass on it if there's something more interesting on the other side. Or in this case, I can give this one up because I have 2 over on the other book, and I can grab these 2 advertisements. So yes, I got a lot of fun ahead of me this afternoon. Just going to flip through just in case there's anything else that's unusual. If anything does pop up that I think of differently between now and next Tuesday, I will certainly put aside and make sure that you get to see it. Okay, so mostly the same kind of stuff, the same kind of words. If I had a different magazine, I could show you other things, but this was the first two I grabbed, and I said, okay, I have to work with this because that's what was right on top. Here's that guy's signature again, and the word antiques again. So there's some similarities in both of these editions. There's some great images there of some lovely ladies. Mary Nelson and Mrs. William Nelson, Elizabeth. Don't know who they are, but there's a cute image. Some of this might get used. I don't know. Love this colored one. Is it colored on the other side? Yes. So it'll be one of those things that I decide what to do with it when I take it out, but I'm going to keep that as a whole page as well to show you in the next video. Rococo. This is a fun diagram as well. It's a little bit faded, but interesting. I would probably keep it as, you know, a journaling card, a larger one, or some other type of ephemera to use in the journal. The pictures are kind of boring. Like pictures, not pictures. Well, these pictures of pictures are kind of boring. Nothing really exciting on that page either. So this would be a page that I would use for collage, where I would just keep working on top of it and create something. In that case, you know, I might have part of the image showing, but it's not the most attractive one. And then we get into the advertisements at the back again. Ooh, look at, there's more of those. Lots of them. Yay. Okay, so this is just what I'm showing you. And like I said, I'm not going to bother gluing and doing things on this. This looks like a young, what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio? DiCaprio? I don't know how you say it. It looks like him. I'll just go a little closer so you can see him. So this is just to show you how I look at a magazine and what I'm going to do with it. And then I will do all this stuff and come back for next week with it, or show you a little tidbit maybe on Friday with my follow-up day. So that's it. That's all for today. So go out and find a couple of magazines and play along with me and cut them up. You know, get them cut up and get them ready for next week, and you'll see how I do other things. And it'll be further to enhance with these large pages, as well as some of the other different pages that I have pulled out of here. And you'll get to see all the finished pieces that I've done. So that's it. That's all for today. It is Tuesday today. It's a beautiful sunny day, crisp but sunny. Green grass still showing. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and I get to open some of the Happy Mail that's come in. I have 5 envelopes sitting there waiting, and I will go to the mailbox tomorrow morning in case there's a few that show up tomorrow morning. So it will be Happy Mail movement tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. And then Thursday is a 1-item project. I've been telling you I wanted to do it, so that's all you get is 1 thrifted item, and then you're going to see what I do with it, and you're going to be out there searching for these for sure. And then Friday, of course, will be the follow-up for the week, and then I will fill you in by then as to what's going on the weekend. So that's it. That's all for today. I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Stop in tomorrow for the Happy Mail movement. It's going to be awesome. I can just tell. All right, that's it. Bye for now.